Jonas Salk, the man who invented the first safe and effective polio vaccine. The Salk Institute is an independent, nonprofit research facility. We're taking you there to explore its history and see what's next.
My father really wanted a place where everyone could be and work without the constraints of academia and without the constraints of teaching and administration. So it's able to perform at a very high level. The other thing that really makes it special was the original conception of it, because it was conceived of to be a very special place and a unique place where scientists and other creative people could work together to solve the problems of humankind. And the building itself is one of a kind. It really has the qualities of an ancient temple, as Louis Kahn intended it to. And it almost has a spiritual quality that I think really affects the work, the people here and the work that goes on here.
Jonas had a very strong feeling that arts and sciences, contributed to one another. There was a real reason to have them combined. He was married to Françoise Gillot, who was a great artist herself, was the mother of two of Picasso's children. And so there's always been this tradition at the Salk Institute of combining art and science.
My father, though he was a serious man, was also a very warm man. He liked people, he liked humanity. So I think he set a tone for the place that to be inclusive and welcoming. Partly it was really set up so that scientists and thinkers could collaborate. So that's in the architecture, that's in the design of the building and the original intent of the building.
When there are advances in science, it's because people from two different disciplines are forced to bump up against one another and interact with one another. And the design of the labs is really, was put in place to foster that. Basically, each laboratory floor here is a glass box. And within the lab spaces, none of the interior walls support any weight. So you can put up walls and take them down. They're drywall when labs change, when science changes. So that was one of the really important things about how science works here. It was an innovative thing when the building was built, and it's been imitated in science buildings around the world since then.
He did a really remarkable thing because he had this idea, this vision, and he managed to work both administratively but also architecturally to bring it into reality. And he and Lou Kahn worked together. They both really believed in the higher principles of basically the universe and of humankind and creativity. And all of that was put into this place and just suffuses the whole institution. He discovered the polio vaccine. It was effective. The positive announcement caused worldwide attention and focus on him. And he was only 40 years old, which was really remarkable. He became a folk hero. And he was at a transition point in his life where he could either go forward, go back into the laboratory and do science, or do something else. And what happened in that period is that he began to conceive of an institution where creative people could come together to solve the problems of humankind, to kind of use the polio vaccine as a model for solving other big problems.
So we are pushing into new scientific areas. In the area of climate change, our plant biology group is working on methods to sequester more carbon in the roots of plants as an approach to dealing with climate change. And so we're always working in new scientific areas. We are planning on actually adding to the site a new science center, a research and technology center, which would be out in our parking lot now. So, I would say stay tuned because we're always moving forward.
There are several public events held at the Salk Institute throughout the year, and you can even book your own tour. For all the details on that, head to fox5sandiego.com and just look for the Localist SD tab.